Welcome to SGL Spiritual Guiding Light. And this is a message. How present are you? So I've been guided to start doing something differently. I will be periodically releasing messages, but also adding more content for you, listener. So, what I want to talk to you about is releasing. And in regards to releasing, I want to help you identify the mood. And by identifying your mood, the result and the benefit that you get from it is that you will you will be present. You will be able to identify if you're currently present, or you will become in learning how to be present. And so the message is, how present are you? Okay. Because sometimes we can go through the motions and lack the essence. And when it comes to identifying your mood, it's normal to not be able to identify why you feel a certain way. Or if you're already present, let's just say you wake up happy, right? And this happy that you feel is not only internal, but it's also external. People are able to read your body language that identifies happy. Okay? And let's say that this happy mood was accomplished for the whole time that you were awake, meaning from the time the time that you spent awoke before actually taking your time to rest, which is going to bed. Okay, now on the other hand, there is happy. You wake up happy, and then your mood shifts into another mood. So I want to reflect with you on how I am able to identify when my mood shifts, or when I realize the mood that I am in has not shifted. And by free will, I have like, for instance, if I'm speaking of a high vibrational mood, which is happy, and I at that moment identify that, yes, I am happy, I've been happy all day, I woke up happy, compared to, why am I in a bad mood? Well, I want to help you release and identify when your mood shifts, or just simply you can use this tools of information, so that you will be able to practice your awareness of being present. Mind you, you don't have to have a PhD, a doctorate, a certificate, or nothing like that to learn how to be present, and to learn how to release, and to learn how to identify. We are all on different levels, and for some of us it takes time, and you can take as much time as you need. But remembering, when it comes to time, regarding the results and the benefit. Okay? So would you need to put in more effort? Because if you don't, what will be the result and what will be the benefit? Compared to truly taking your time and allowing time to abide by your master key of receiving and then giving back to time, right? Of growth, if that makes sense. Sometimes even myself, I'm like, okay, what in the world am I saying right now? And then after it's said, I'm like, okay. So let's just go ahead and get started. And then, we'll go from there, because right now I'm kind of debating if I want to end the message, how present are you, with clarifiers or not. We'll see how it goes. But for the most part, I just want to thank you for taking out the time to, support SGL. Just one moment. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You guys gotta excuse me. I am multitasking. I am currently at work. So, when I do my podcasting, it will be workable for me to still be able to engage with you, listener, because I think it's inappropriate of me to sit here and do lives while I'm at work. Not at this time. It's not the right timing to do such things. But right now I have time and space to share with you, and provide a service to you, because I struggled with being present. I struggled with releasing regarding to other people that were affecting me. I never had a problem with expressing how I felt regarding an emotion, but I never really paid attention to why my mood would change, or why I was feeling a certain way, or just simply practicing the acknowledgement of the mood that you're in. Okay. And I'm not breaking down the moods. That's why I used happy as a high vibrational energy. And then there's the low vibrational energy, sad, which, we'll get into more of that, because this is a very, very open topic discussion that can just literally, we can go in many different angles, directions. There's so much infinite space in pertaining to this category and topic. So, number one, okay, is identify your mood. Now, when we identify our mood, we must be honest. And the reason why I say we must be honest with ourselves is because I'm speaking of a place of I had to learn independently. I had to learn. So it means, I went into some dead ends. I've built my own highways. I've built my own, railroad. I've built an underground. I have my own jets, my own, I had to literally learn the ups and the downs. And I had to learn that this space that was being created based off of the moods that I possessed, okay, and being present at the same time of these moods, it took years. Years equals time. Okay. Do I regret some areas of being present and not understanding? No. Being a individual who grew up with a learning deficiency, ADHD, very, very hyperactive, Not only did I have to train myself to slow down, I still have the hyperactivity in my mind, and I have a short attention span. Okay? So that's the benefit for someone else who can relate. Like, okay, well, how do I? And that's why I said time. You have nothing but time and space, because everyone is at different phases, okay, in different levels. And I know that you can listen to this message today on how present are you, in a month now or a year from now, right? It clicks. It's like, that's what that means, or now I get it. Okay? Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, because then you are shortchanging yourself. You are devaluing yourself. Love is kind. Love is gentle. And I don't want it to sound like I'm, getting a little bit too excited here, which I have a passion when it comes to serving. I am a speaker. I am a motivational speaker. So with that being said, and then tapping into spirituality, which is a huge space as well, just the word "the" has its own space, but it is connected to everything. So when we truly look at love as being connected to everything, and knowing the true definition of love is that it's kind and that it's gentle, when you truly believe that, you then will benefit those results of gentle and kindness. But you would have to practice gentleness and kindness to self, which will then produce love. Okay, so identifying your mood, you must be honest. Because if you're not going to be honest with yourself, this has nothing to do with someone calling you a liar, or there's this, stigma about an individual who has been labeled as someone who just believes their own lies. Well, when it comes to your mood, no, you have to be honest with you, so that either you can release it or you can embrace it, so that you can get a result of increase or decrease, and then a benefit of longevity or death, which means, we have to remove things from ourselves to be able to grow and to extend. So identifying your mood, now that we have got, our integrity intact, right? And it's our halo of this matter, is now questioning what caused the mood. Okay? And I just want to stay in a high vibrational energy, and we're just going to use happy as the mood. What caused you to be happy? And that start from when you awake. I mean, did you go to bed, early? Did you take extra time with hygiene with your bathing? Did you have everything in order? Or mind you, the examples that I'm giving you, for some of you whom this information is already feeling overwhelming, you're like, hold on. I'm not there yet. No, these are just examples, and also you can jot those things down and set those as goals. Remember, I said timing. Okay, don't allow. You have nothing but space, nothing but space within time for expansion and growth. So again, don't be hard on yourself. I'm just using happy as an example. Okay. I definitely will you have depression and anxiety, some of those low vibrational energies in a separate um, recording. The reason why is because I want to focus on one thing at a time. So let me jot that down. Okay. And I truly love that I literally embrace bravery. And then not only did I embrace bravery, I am proud that I am practicing bravery, because it's been such a long time where all I had was the idea of starting a podcast and I just didn't know how. And so when Anchor came with this app, I was so happy because I was able to, it's made simple. I can use it from my phone. I can go from the desktop to the laptop, and it's so accessible, and it's not. It's easy to understand, and I have been enjoying this podcast journey with you, and with the support that I have been giving. It is so amazing. And I can't thank you enough. I just had to say that, because when I listen to other podcasters, it truly feels like a open conversation. And not only is it made accessible and available, I'm able to feel connected, if that makes sense. Okay, so number one, what caused the mood? So, identifying the cause, right? How did you get into this mood? Okay, and then did your mood shift, or did your mood remain the same? So this is like waking up happy, and the whole time that you're awake, before getting your rest, did it stay the same? So yeah, it stayed the same. And this is where I was referencing to about, well, if your mood shift, now let's identify the how, when, and why. Like, how did it shift? What shifted the mood? Number 3, and if you're unable at this time to identify the shift, that is okay. Okay. Another way to kind of have a more understanding is thinking people, places, or things. I like to say people, places, things are people within places. Okay, so who's in the environment? Did you walk into an environment, right? Or did someone walk into the environment that you were already in, and are a group? You're right. It could be a group, is 2 or more. So, how did you feel about an individual or group that either came into an environment, or you into that environment? And 3, are you where you are by choice? So it's like, I drive to the gas station, and I get to the gas station, and I see someone, or I see something happen, right? And my mood change. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It can literally just be, well, still is a person, but not someone that is connected to you that This could be a stranger, and you see strangers doing something. Okay, good example. You see someone, you're in the driveway, a drive-through, and there's someone on their phone, and the person on the intercom is saying, can I help you? Can you take, I would like to take your order. And they're just on the phone talking and not ordering. So definitely that's going to switch your mood. Like, why are you, for one, being rude to the driveway, the person working the driveway, and why are you in the drive-through if you're not going to order? So there's a lot of mood shifts there. Some people are not going to care. They're not going to care, careless of the world. And then there's some people that are going to care, and there's some people that are going to put themselves in the situation. So I don't want to go too far. Okay, I just want to keep it simple and releasing. And by you being able to identify your moods, or when they shift, and then understanding why they shift, you then will be practicing being present. So if you are happy and you know that you have been happy all day, you have been present all day. If you have been happy and then your mood shifts into being sad, okay, and then you're able to identify why you are sad, my friend, you are now present, okay? Now, if you are happy and become sad and you're unable to identify, you are semi-present, which meaning you're acknowledging, but you're not trying to resolve, okay, to get the result and the benefit, okay? So I want to encourage you that if someone says, you just don't get it, you don't understand, I don't understand why, especially if you are in a relationship and you constantly keep repeating yourself, or this is someone doing to you, and you're just like, I am just sick and tired of people having expectations over me, or people characterizing me, and that is not my character. Or it's just someone that just does not understand because it is foreign. So like I said, this is a huge, huge, huge area that taps down into many, many subcategories. And so that's why I just wanted to use happy and sad, because sometimes we are in places. We can be fine. Some of us work just to get out of an atmosphere that makes us uneasy, not comfortable, upset, angry. And those results cause us to say things that can hurt other people because we're hurting, right? That's another example. And then beside married and courting and dating, just being present with you as a human being and acknowledging your existence. It matters because you are matter. And that's why it matters. Okay. So with that being stated, I am going to end that there. I really, 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 really want to end this with I am. I'm going to end this with let's see. I'm going to give us some messages for how present are you. You just kind of see, collectively. And I'm really going to tap into this, and I'm going to be gentle with this subject, because even with the notes that I wrote down, And you can tell the difference, you guys, because when I am doing my lives, I be able to identify the energies. I'm talking really low, and the reason why is because I'm in a place where, you know, my spiritual beliefs systems and the way that I go about pertaining to my spirituality and the tools that I use that benefit and give me results, you know, are not people, you know, are not open to. And, you know, it hurts my heart, but I have to move forward, you know. And I want to encourage you. The reason why I said that is because now I'm in a place where, okay, yeah, I'm at work, but I have open space to be able to still share with you, but I still have limitations and guidelines. Like I can't bring my laptop and go live and just, you know, do it. You know, I could, but, you know, there's just certain boundaries that, you know, you just don't cross. And so now I was like, okay, well, now that I have to work more hours, you know, at this point, you know, I'm on a roll with, you know, delivering the content for you listeners. And I'm like, it took me a long time to get out of depression, because I am an individual who definitely sometimes I can overthink and become hard on myself. And so what I'll do is I'll pull away from my passions instead of pushing through and trying to encourage someone else. And sometimes I just, you know, myself says, no, figure it out. Why are you feeling this way? Identify the problem within and the problems that are exterior. And so that you can move forward, because I don't want to deposit any energies to any of my supporters. I want to be a benefit to you. That's the whole purpose why I started Spiritual Guided Light. And, you know, the backstory, you know, I will take out the time sooner than later and explain why I am so grateful. So let's look at some messages briefly on how present are you, collective, earth, air, fire, and water. If you are, hopefully the deck, by me shuffling them, is not too hard for you. But I mean, in your ear, because sometimes when I'm recording, I don't even know how loud it sounds. I know in the beginning of the recordings, you know, when I'm at the office, the mic, I had the mic so loud with the boomstick, bringing it where the mic was literally kind of like literally at my my forehead. And so you can literally hear me shuffling like really, really loud. And so it kind of, at first it was soothing, and then I was like, okay, I wonder, does the listener think it's soothing? It's soothing to me, but for the most part, you know, that message is to encourage someone to be brave. And, you know, don't put yourself in situations that you don't need to put yourself in situations. So, for instance, if you know a person doesn't like something, eliminate drama, eliminate being petty, you know, surround yourself with common people, surround yourself with people who will help you become the best person, the best version of you. Because if you keep whatever things inside, it becomes heavier and heavier. And no one, and the reason why I'm so kind of getting emotional about this is because I literally had to learn every angle mind, body, and soul independently. I had to bump my head. I had to cut myself. I had to bruise myself. I allowed people humbly, with humble and contentness, you know, and I refuse to allow someone else to go through that alone, because some people cannot bear such sacrifice or sacrifices. So let's go ahead and get started and start looking into some messages here. Earth, air, fire, and water. Now, if you don't know what element you are, if you are water signs, you are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah, the Nine of Swords here, most definitely. If you're Cancer, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water signs, you are a water sign. Fire signs, if you want to know if you're a fire sign, if your sign is a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, you're a fire sign. If you are an earth sign, you will be considered Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And then last but not least, if you are an air sign, you will be considered Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Just one moment. So those are all the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And we're going to take a look at the messages pertaining to how present are you. Okay, so Most High, I thank you so much for blessing me with the gift of intuition. I thank you for giving me bravery, courage, and strength as an intuitive reader. Allow this reading to bring clarity, understanding, and confirmation, as above, so below. Ashe. All right. So what's significant? I'm going to just look at what's significant about, you being present, listener. What's significant? We have the Queen of Cups in reverse, meaning everything is blurry. It's like, it's the wise. It's the moment of the wise. And there's two different scenarios, because everyone's not in a low vibrational energy. But for the one who is in a low vibrational energy, it's the wise. Like, why am I in this place? Why can't I get out of this place? Why I am putting in the work, but I can't get out of this place. As a advisory suggestion, counseling may be needed, and if for some of you, for privacy purposes and confidentiality, and you don't feel safe, there are 800 numbers that you can call, depending on your if you have a pastor or whatever, however that may be. Or, if you want to reach out to me, you can email spiritualguidedlight@gmail.com. Or you can simply send a message. There is a message button that says message, and you can simply talk that way as well. So I'm paying attention here, and I'm looking at the deck, and it is definitely upside down. So the Queen of Cups is technically upright, and then we have it's clarified by the Empress, meaning stepping into your power, and definitely you being able to be present and literally having not just an introspective of what's inside, but you're able to have an outer perspective on everything. Like, you're able to identify, foolishness before it happens. This is like reading somebody, and it's like, nah, don't bring that bullshit over here. Or definitely dealing with the Queen of Cups. This is like This is like a guru, like a or you could be a counselor, but this has some type of form of wisdom. Despite of whatever mood that you're in, whether it's high or lows, you can be some form of medium, you also have the gift of intuition. And, everyone has the gift of intuition. It's just about how you use it. Are you using it for good? Are you using it for ill intentions? The reason why I'm not saying bad is because what technically is bad. When you say something is bad, it's like something that is spoiled, right? Or if you say someone is bad, you have to understand a rebel is not bad. So you have to really identify what it is that on how you truly feel, okay, and truly mean it, and being able to identify. Someone is getting ready to birth out here with the Empress, of understanding that mood matters, and you're now identifying the atmospheres that you are in don't serve the mood that you possess. So it's like you're constantly motivating people who don't want to be motivated, if that makes sense. So that's what's significant to how present are you. This is someone who has a vision. This is someone who is a motivator. And it's like, okay, you're motivating a rock that's not going to move. The only way that rock is going to move is if you pick it up. Let's just say pebble, right? Because we don't, What is the challenge pertaining to how present are you? All right, so that's where that ends. When I get my title card, that just basically tells me to stop doing the reading and pertaining to pulling the deck from this one. So I'm going to take a look at your shadow self here, and pertaining to, hold on, if I can get this out. You guys, I'm kind of nervous because I have never pulled my cards out at work, and normally I'll bring them with me. Because I have been wanting to do it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay, so shadow self pertaining to how present are you? We're all in our own miniature phases here, and the phases pertaining to the challenge, is it challenging? And this is definitely for someone. You don't want to force something that doesn't need to be forced. If you don't feel like being happy, don't force yourself to be happy. Some people are happy of, some people get gratification of just being solemn, or some people were raised to be angry, and that's they're happy. Like, if they're not angry, that's not normal. You get what I'm saying? So everyone is different. So you can't just go off and be so quick to judge and think that that's what it is or whatever. So yeah. Just one moment, you guys. Okay, so let's look at shadow self. And mind you, this technically does not have to do with you. Whatever has brought you here to be resonated you to listen to this message, this could be simply you listening to this message about how present are you, and it can literally be a tool that you're going to utilize in the future, because it presents itself and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what SGL, spiritually guided light, said on the podcast. It's just having a different perspective on how you look at things. Or there's definitely someone experiencing a loved one and you've been questioning, like, what in the heck is going on with this person, right? And something told you not to force it, not to prowl or get in the way, kind of just let them do their own thing. What is the shadow self? We have illumination. So there is definitely someone here who has a wool over their eyes, kind of like the Two of Swords. You have a bandana over your eyes and you don't need to have one over your eyes. It's like you're making yourself go through stuff that you don't need to go through. So it's like someone needs to loosen up. It's like you're creating problems, right? So if I come into an atmosphere or an environment, right, with the bitch standing face, automatically I have created the result of do not get in my space, right? And the benefit of getting into my space is, obviously it's going to be confrontation, or I'm going to be difficult with you, or, I'm going to, your result from the benefit of coming into my space is going to then, my energy is then going to transfer to you. So now you are in the same space and mood as me. You get it? Illumination. Clarify illumination. So it's like your shadow self, there's no need for you to entertain low vibrational energies within yourself when you don't need to. You have to really tame your shadow self when it comes to your moods, especially if they're low vibrational. You have to create some type of routine or some form of practice that is going to help you move forward with perseverance. Because, we have the Tower. Yeah, you have to release. Practicing gratitude and being thankful is another subject matter. But the release, allowing that Tower to happen, and you feel better. That's what they say. You have to get it out so that you can feel better. So that is so true. I want to look at some foolishness. The reason why is because I know there's many of you listeners whom are in places or environments that causes your mood to change. And some of you are sick of it. And some of you, it is literally making you sick. And, you're going home where that's your place, your safe haven, where you're supposed to be happy and jolly. And it's your place of surrender. And it's not. Wherever, I don't know. It's just, it's like conjuring all of these energies. And then you go wherever it is where you rest your head. There is no peace. And I'm being guided to tell someone, like, do not cry yourself to sleep. It's time to stop crying yourself to sleep. That's not good. Now you're acknowledging that I'm going to stop crying myself to sleep, right? You are present by semi-present by acknowledging. Now you have to figure out a plan on how to resolve this mood. Because you have the mood, and then you have the feeling, and then you have the emotion. All right. We have communication, the Eight of Wands. So definitely this is someone's confirmation. Definitely, and you could be dealing with the fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Okay. And with that being stated here, you determine, remember I told you time, space, matter? You are in control. Okay? You become out of control when you're in low vibrational energies, because then there's room where there's holes and leaks within the body and within your space, or you then remove your protection barrier where you allow, that's how, irritation happens, or you become very angry because someone did something pertaining to you, or just from your sight. It's so many ways to look at this on the mood of it changing, but pertaining to the communication, someone received communication and your mood shifted. And since you received that information, or whatever it is, or whatever happened, or you, listener, told someone something, and their mood has changed and they have not been the same, and you're trying to figure out, what did I do? And this person literally has ghosted, or they're not communicating, and you feel like you're trying too hard, or you're not trying too hard. Believe what you see, believe what you hear. And pertaining to you hearing it from the person, not gossip or someone translating something. Believe what you see. For instance, if I text you, right, and you don't respond, not only do I believe what I see, I believe what I hear, which is nothing. No effort, no activity. But, that's the new thing now. Emotions are being based off of how fast a response is. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is slowing. Take your time. You have more than enough to offer. This is Earth sign pertaining to your growth. Okay, you have to invest in yourself, and being present is definitely an exercise of fitness, of, good health is good wealth. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with actual exercise. And this could be exercising being present, exercising of gratitude, especially if you're in the moods of high vibrational energies, especially when you're able to identify a low vibrational mood and you're able to come out of it. Then you're present, as well as practicing gratitude here. Balancing, someone is literally, it's like you come out of a place to go into a place. And the place you go into, and you're miserable, and then you go back to where you came from and you bring that misery. And it's like your loved ones are people that you don't even believe that are paying you attention. They're waiting for you to come out of this. Literally at the bottom, working your way up to the top. You can do this with a musician. You got this. But right now, someone is literally, you're short-tempered. You're easily triggered. It's like, you sure you want a piece of me with the Nine of Swords? It's like, no, I will eat you alive. Like, don't play with me. And then we have the King of Wands here. This is someone that you're unapproachable. And you have the status of a leader. You have the status of drip, the swag, the boss, whatever that may be. But, being in the seat of royalty, or being in the seat of command, there's lonely days. And some people, for some of you, have stepped into new projects, and you had the mind frame that you literally placed people in your mind, or you already planned it out on who you wanted to do what, to only realize that they're not interested in what it is you're trying to do, right? You're still in control, you're still into power, but what? You are alone. You have to do this alone, right? And for some of you, you are going to get out of this alone. And then people that are on the outside who have watched your mood swings, right? They're going to feel like in regret because they're going to feel like they didn't do enough. And this is where you make the good choice and you still show compassion. It's just not the moment of the tit for tat. Because we do have the communication, the 8 of Wands. It doesn't mean that you have to, tackle people because you got out of a storm. You got out of your own personal challenge because you're unable to protect your body when you are in different environments. See, I've just been reflecting on the mood within environments. I really haven't really went into people and things. I was talking about people within places and not just places. Okay. Let's look at what you may need to speak up about and what you need to acknowledge. And then we are going to conclude. I do not have my affirmations, but I will definitely create one off the flow of the reading for you. So I gotta hurry up and get out of here because the max is 60 minutes. So don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, move on. So breathe. Some of you are on medications. I'm not telling you to get off your medications. I'm not going to say go holistically. What it's saying is it's time to release whatever this baggage that has you stuck in a certain mood that does not serve you. And of course that's low vibrational, but for the most part, the whole key of this is being present. Okay, what else does the listener need to look up? Allow this shit to come to you. Someone mood is only in good vibration. Well, you've convinced yourself that you're in good vibration, which you're not. You're in false vibration, imitation vibration. If you are a person who only are happy because you receive material things, that is false. That is an imitation. That is not true, genuine. And I know a lot of you are going to debate with me about this, but that is so true. When you get things that are unexpected, you can measure the truthness within that. But when you are expecting, that is definitely false. So then we have you are here for a reason. Don't mess it up. For whatever that means. But for the most part, invest in yourself of being present. Love yourself more. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. And being kind and being gentle to yourself does not mean, oh, I'm going to spoil myself with material things. No, that is not what I am saying here. Okay, so your affirmation is, I am present. I am becoming present. I am kind to myself. I am gentle to myself. I am love. My dear friend, I am so happy that you guys tuned in to Spiritual Guiding Light. This is my first message and then doing some clarifyings. It was kind of fun, kind of exciting. I think it's because of the environment that I am in. I feel safe to be, okay? And I want to encourage you to hang in there. Not hang yourself, but hang in there. Meaning, grab what you need to grab that is going to be a benefit and it's going to give you a good result. So grab these moods and identify them and become present and release if it is low vibrational, and practice gratitude when you release low vibrational energies. Okay, so that the universe can bless you, and not only just bless you, but gift you the desires of your heart. For we all know our true desires are unknown, and when we are blessed with the true desires, it is marvelous. All right, so don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you and I.